Say hello to the Moulton base as well, since, as Alex Cora said, the bases look like pizza boxes now. First to second, second to third is 4 inches shorter. That's safe on a lot of bang-bang plays now. And you can only throw over to first twice per batter as well, which means we'll see some big-time leads. Now, the only thing negative about baseball is in the competitive balance. Only the NBA opens a season with more hopeless teams than baseball, and in the NL, it's worse than ever. 6 playoff teams. Does anyone other than the Dodgers, Padres, Braves, Mets, Phils, Cards, and maybe Brewers have a chance? It's time to play ball.
Tom Abraham, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is responsible for bringing high-level sports entertainment to the Rocket City. In 2023, enjoy events like the CCSA Beach Volleyball Championships, Hometown Lenders Championship, UCI Paracycling Road World Cup, and so much more. To learn more about upcoming events and the Huntsville Sports Commission, visit HuntsvilleSports.com. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
And away we go here on a Wednesday. Just 1 hour today. We've got NBA basketball front and center coming up. Coming up at the top of the next hour will be pregame for the Mavericks and 76ers. But we closed the program yesterday with news about the incident that took place over at Governor's House Drive. And for those that have not heard the update, maybe you got busy in your day-to-day, an officer was killed. Another is critically injured to responding to the shots fired call yesterday. Certainly thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Huntsville Police Department. In fact, I've got a neighbor who is a Huntsville policeman and felt the need just to go by and just ask him how he's doing. And I know it's a hard time for the boys that protect us, the men and women, that protect us each and every day. Just wanted to start off by saluting those that sacrifice a lot to preserve our safety here in our community. If you'd like to be part of the program, you can certainly do so, and it 256-576-4977 is the telephone number, 256-576-4977. Well, little did we find out until today, the Noon Sports Center. Remember yesterday we had Heather Dinich on. She drove from Auburn to Tuscaloosa. Well, lo and behold, looky here who's on Sports Center today.
Oh, what fun. Alabama spring football. Last season, the Crimson Tide finishing 11-2 with both losses coming on the final play of the game. They missed the playoff, but they still finished within the top 5 of the AP poll, and they won the Sugar Bowl against Big 12 champion K-State. They begin this season, though, without former Heisman winner Bryce Young, Heisman candidate Will Anderson Jr. Young won 23 games as a starter through 80 touchdowns. Anderson led Bama in sacks the last 2 seasons. But Bama bringing in the #1 recruiting class this year, featuring 23 ESPN 300 commits. It's the 4th time they've had a class with 20 or more ESPN 300 prospects, more than all other programs combined. This is new on SportsCenter. Moments ago, Heather Dinich speaking with head coach Nick Saban.
Coach, not since 2016 have you had a quarterback competition featuring athletes with such little experience from last year. What can you tell us about where the quarterback competition stands right now?
Well, both of the guys are working hard, and the most important thing is that they can stay focused on what they need to do to improve their ability to play winning football at the position, which is very important because they distribute the ball to someone every play. So it's an important position. They're both guys that have talent, and we just have to try to help them develop and focus on the things they need to do to play winning football.
How different are Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, and is experience at all an edge for Jalen?
Well, I think Jalen does have some experience, but it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So it's a competition, and both guys need to, do the things that they need to do to improve. And both guys have had a great attitude about doing it so far, and we're excited about what we can do to help them do that.
We talked a little bit off camera about how much work is going on right here, and it wasn't the Alabama teams you were used to even coaching last year. With 2 new coordinators, a new starting quarterback, just how much effort is going into getting this team back to what you want it to be?
Well, anytime we don't get in the national championship game, there's a standard here that everybody sort of has an expectation for, that we want our players to stay focused on what they need to do to be able to get there. Not the outcome, but what do we have to do to get the outcome. And I think everybody in the organization is trying to figure out, okay, how do we go about this in a way that's going to help us get there with our players, our coaches, and everybody in the organization, because we have a high standard for what we want to accomplish and what we want to do, and we need to get everybody to buy into that and understand the importance of doing the little things that will help them get where they want to be and where we want to be.
And fresh off of that interview, she joins us now live from Tuscaloosa, our college football reporter, Heather Dinich. He mentioned the 2 coordinators, so the DC would be Kevin Steele, his 3rd stint with Alabama coming from Miami, and of course a former Notre Dame offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, coming in that position. What's he hoping to see from his offense this year, Heather?
A more balanced offense. When you look back at their stretch run of Nick Saban coach teams, there was a period where Alabama averaged at least 200 rushing yards almost every time they were out there. And they got away from that a little bit, but some of it was because they had a quarterback who was so amazing in Bryce Young, and they didn't have to run it as much. But I think with a new starting quarterback, you're going to see them put a little bit more emphasis on that. But one of the things I talked to Nick Saban about was the hire of offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, and he wants to see Tommy Rees develop these quarterbacks. Not only did he hire him because he's an offensive coordinator, but Saban looked at Rees as a total package because of what he's been able to do in terms of developing the players at that position. So I think it all starts there, and I think Alabama fans might see a bit of a more of a running game while they get those rookie quarterbacks going.
And I think Notre Dame fans, Heather, to be frank, will be watching that closely to see how he does moving south. Now, after missing the college football playoff last year, and you touched on it briefly there with Coach Saban, I'm wondering what his message is internally about getting back to the championship.
Well, his message is internally is what their aspirations are, what their goals are, which is always winning a national championship every year. And I said to him, do you feel any pressure? I asked him about Georgia and the competition there, and he said Georgia has won the last two national titles. They have proven the last 2 years that they are the best team. But he said success is not a continuum for us. What they're trying to do is get back to that. And he said the key is getting everyone in this building not to measure themselves against outside expectations, but the ones from within. And he said that that's what he manages to do as a head coach when it comes to pressure.
Yeah, second best odds to win the national title behind Georgia. Listen, before I let you go, that looks so cool. Where exactly are you right now?
I am in the Glitz and Glam recruiting lounge where they've got more trophies than I don't even want to tell you how many schools combined, Hannah. And so I could use some of the bling here to add to my own jewelry collection. I don't think they would miss it if we're being honest, but I'll keep it here in the glass cases.
Yeah, please do. Don't get in trouble. But we did say they have the #1 recruiting class, which you can kind of see hanging out in that lounge for a bit, what kind of impact that would have. Heather Dinich, thanks so much.
So that was earlier today on SportsCenter as Alabama, I guess last year was the rebuilding year. Was last year the rebuilding year? I'm only joking. I'm only joking. The #1 recruiting class, and you finish in the top 5 when it's all said and done, but you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, frankly, I'm a little surprised that Saban still has a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Better not stumble this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he goes 3 years without a trophy.
Well, wait a second. Last year they did get an SEC championship trophy.
Oh, those don't matter.
Those don't matter.
I don't know. I mean,
Nabias.
I thought the playoff was the only thing that matters anymore. That's what ESPN seems to be pushing, right?
You think?
Yeah.
You think? You think they have a vested interest?
Yeah, I mean, it's who's in from what? The start of spring ball? Right?
Nabias Wilborn going to join us in 15 minutes' time as we will transition down to the Plains. Sam Pittman spoke to the media late last night as the Hogs were fresh off of spring break. And there is a message that Sam Pittman wants you to know about, and that is he's going to go for it on 4th down.
We're going to play the 1s versus 2s to start, 2s versus 1s, 3s, 3s, 12 to 15 plays. There'll be punts involved in that if we score. On offense, there'll be field goals and involved in that as well. When we get through with that, we'll come back and go 1s and 1s, 2s, 2s, 3s, 3s. When we get done with that, we'll go into situations, which will be 3rd down. Well, there'll be a situation of 3rd down. There'll be a situation of red area. You know, I'm going to practice this year, Trey, for the first time. I'm going to practice 3rd down, play 4th. I think I've become a guy that's afraid or not afraid or concerned about going for it on 4th down. And the only way I'm going to find out whether I'm willing to do that is play 3rd down and go for it on 4th. Never have done that before, but I am going to do that. And there'll be all kinds of kicking. But it'll be a live scrimmage, and with those situations thrown in.
So that was about halfway through the press conference, and his press conferences are usually fairly lengthy. He gives very thoughtful and insightful answers if you listen to his press conferences. And he was pressed about that a little bit more later on in the press conference, of practicing going for it on 4th down more.
I'm really looking to see if the offense will give me enough confidence to I'm not going to be Lane ever, at Ole Miss, and it's worked out well for him. Or the late Mike Leach, which, obviously he was willing to do that. I don't think I'll ever get to that point. But I want to get to a point to where if I feel like it's the right time and things of that nature, and I'm very confident in what we're running, I want to get to the point where I can go for it on 4th down more And the only way I know how to do it is have that type of situation.
The riverboat gambler Sam Pittman about to bestow his 4th down playbook on us coming up this fall.
Well, if I remember correctly, Arkansas dominated Ole Miss this season, didn't they? Or am I misremembering that?
I don't think you are.
So does he need to be Lane Kiffin?
Well,
I thought it was funny that was the first name he used. And
when you think about going for it on 4th down, who do you immediately think of?
Oh, yeah, Lane Kiffin for sure.
Yeah. So that's – and he pivoted to, I think, the second most obvious guy in the late, great Mike Leach, who,
still hurts.
Yeah, it does. It really does. By the way, Arkansas 42-27 last year was that win I was in Fayetteville.
Yeah. I think it was it the week before Thanksgiving, the weekend?
November 19th. That's right. That's right. Let's sneak in Big C before our first break and talk to Tobias Wilborn on the other side of our first time out. How are you, Big C?
I'm doing good, Steve. How you doing out here? Wes is not in today.
No, Wes is out for the rest of the week.
Okay.
I don't know where he is.
Okay, that's all right. I thought today I wasn't going to be able to call you the rest of the week, but it's been raining down here, so I thought I was going to be doing a local baseball game. Come to find out, when I got to the baseball field over there, nobody was there. And come to find out, they're in Selma instead of Greenville. So I was able to give you a call today.
Outstanding. I saw, that lineup that you had, that you posted on Facebook. I saw Jim Larinaga. I saw Kim Mulkey. I mean, goodness gracious. I
didn't interview them, but I talked about them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the second go-around for Jim Larinaga in the Final Four, and a lot of people certainly remember the name George Mason, but don't really associate it with Jim Larinaga.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. How you say his name again?
Jim Larinaga, again, I'm only going off of what I've heard. I've never met the man, so, take that for what it's worth.
I trust you, man.
Now, I have met Kim Mulkey, and I know it is Mulkey. I do know that.
I met her when she played at Louisiana Tech, and they played Auburn her senior year over there. I went over there and watched them play.
Nice. I met her when she was the Baylor coach.
Oh, where'd you meet her?
A while back.
Were they playing nearby, something like that, or how was that?
They were up in, it was a game, I thought, up in Tennessee.
Okay. She's, needless to say, a real good coach. Now, I've had her on the show before, believe it or not, but it wasn't this week. But, what I was doing was doing the history of this year's teams, and then mentioned about them talking about them about their career, how they done as coaches and stuff. Like, find out that Larinaga, I guess is how you pronounce his name, was played at Providence, and he was a senior when, you remember Ernie Vittorio, or whatever how you pronounce his name, that played up there back in the early 70s? Ernie DeGette.
I don't know that name.
If I may ask, how old are you?
I am 49.
Oh, gosh. You might not have been even living. No, you were living, but you were very, very young. 73 was his last year.
I can tell you my earliest childhood memory is my parents pulling off on the side of the road and my mom crying, and I later found out Elvis had passed away.
Okay, you were back. So
I was a youngin'. I was maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, that was in 1977. I remember that day real well. I think everybody asked, where were you? Well, if you were alive, which I was when John F. Kennedy got shot. I was in the first grade. I remember that. And then I was...
How old are you, Big C?
I'll be 66 in August. So
Man, that is fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad to make it this far. I hope I make it real far. We can try it.
Amen.
Let me do that. But we're trying to do what we can to get there. But anyway, but yeah, so yeah, you're a youngster compared to me.
I don't mind being called a youngster at 49 years old.
No, if you were born in 74, Ernie D was already gone from Providence. And he was a great basketball player. And also, you remember later on, Rick Pitino coached me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. It was so, I don't want to say awkward to look at, but it didn't feel natural with Lou Carnesecca in that press conference room with Rick Pitino next to the minister, the head of school there at St. John's. It's almost as if Rick Pitino was there confessing his sins heading into St. John's. It felt that way to me.
All right, did they have? So they did have.
Yes, they did. Yeah, you need to go back and watch that press conference. I'm sure it's on YouTube. It is a little awkward to see the priest right next to Rick Pitino.
I get that. We won't go any further on that, but I get what you're saying. But
not to say that I'm some holy Joe, by the way. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying, I'm Mr. Perfect by any means.
No.
Just ask my ex-wife. All right.
Okay. Okay, we won't, but I get your drift. No, you probably won't get a favorable review from her, but I understand that. We overlooked that when you said ex-wife.
I appreciate you punctuating that there, Big C.
Well, there was somebody, I mentioned names, and somebody, and I asked 9 different people about him, and nobody gave him a positive review. So when you get 9 negative reviews of somebody making comments of one individual 9 negative times, then I say he's a downer. But when you interview or talk about somebody's ex-wife, that's not going to exactly come out good. So I sort of overlooked that. But anyway.
Well, Big C, how can we turn this conversation around and let folks know how to stay tuned to you? And are you on tomorrow morning?
Yes, I am. And we're going to have Benny Nelson from Huntsville.
Nice.
At 8:30 tomorrow morning. So y'all need to be right to listen. All you got to do is go to Talking, TALKIN, apostrophe Sports with Big C on Facebook. Like us at that thing, and you'll be able to hear Benny Nelson talking tomorrow morning. I'm glad I got a hold of y'all today, so we can.
That's fantastic.
In town, and he's a great guy, and I'm looking forward to talking.
Yeah, one of our more memorable shows was he was in studio with us, and the late great Bobby Bowden was on the phone, and Coach Bowden mentioned Coach Bryant would give him names when he was at Howard of maybe some players to keep an eye on that maybe weren't good enough at Alabama, and there was an awkward silence, and Benny asked, "Hey, Coach, was I on that list?" He was not, by the way, just to let you know, he was not.
I knew that wasn't the case.
No.
Players.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about him playing at Alabama and some other things, but we're going to have a fun time with him. He's always fun to talk to, as you know.
Absolutely. Well, Big C, I'll be tuned in, and I appreciate you calling in.
All right, thank you. We'll talk to y'all later, and hopefully I'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Please do. Let's go ahead and take our first time out, and Tobias Wilborn from AL.com is next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
With over 100 F-150s to choose from and available financing as low as 0%, now is the perfect time to put one in your driveway. It's Truck Month at Woody Anderson Ford. Hi, Bobby White back again, inviting you to come on in for the best selection of F-150s we've had in a while. And if you find one that you like, there is no payment for 90 days. Also during Truck Month, not only do you get 0% financing for up to 36 months, but we've also got 2.9% financing for 5 years on remaining 22 models with your good credit through Ford Motor Credit. This offer ends April 4th. And don't forget, we make it really easy for you to trade in and trade up on a Ford Blue Advantage Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned vehicle. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you take it home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Hurry on in for Truck Month. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days, and over 100 F-150s to choose from. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
We've all heard the phrase, what's in a name? When it comes to your comfort, the name means everything. Environmental Comfort Systems is the name to remember when it comes to your home's comfort. Environmental means our systems are environmentally friendly, even more environmentally friendly than systems sold just a few years ago. And comfort? Well, that's our middle name. Our systems are built to keep you and your family comfortable for years to come. And last but not least, we install systems, not units. Our systems are designed specifically for your home, based on your home's square footage and the way it faces the sun. Environmental Comfort Systems does more than just sell air conditioners. We install comfort systems that will make your home a more enjoyable place to live. So give Environmental Comfort Systems a call. We are your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, serving Decatur, Madison, and the Tennessee Valley. Visit our website at envcomfort.com. Alabama license number 92314. Environmental Comfort Systems.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Always good any time of the year to hear that. It is spring football season after all. And joining us right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, he is your sports writer of the year from the National Sports Media Association. Proud to say that I voted for our name.
Well, I mean, I can't be doing much better after you fluff my feathers like that. I definitely appreciate it, sir.
You commandeered this particular program on Monday with a particular question. Had nothing to do with football whatsoever. So I'll simply say, what pizza establishment do you partake of down on the plains?
Well, listen, so Hugh Freeze, we talked about it. He likes, I will say Little Italy is a place that I happen to enjoy if I have a night on the town, if you will. You know, it's kind of like Waffle House, basically. Yeah, I don't really eat Waffle House when the sun is shining, if you understand what I'm saying. Maybe on its way up, but definitely not at night. But hey, Hugh Freeze, he happens to have a different opinion of the Little Italy establishment, and he happened to get some Stromboli's and some different things. And, you know, it's just one of those questions you kind of just want to get to know the guy a little bit beyond the X's and O's as far as who he is. But what that also told me, and to kind of tie this up relatively important, is, you know, I pretty much, I doubt highly if Brian Harsin ever heard of Little Italy, much less been there. Okay? Whereas Hugh Freeze has continued to show that he is willing to find ways to indoctrinate himself to the Auburn community on the plains, which, as you know, is very important to your ability to succeed here at Auburn.
There is no question about that. So I know there's been a few more questions about the quarterback room. What does that quarterback room look like right now, Nabias?
I mean, right now, you're looking at T.J. Finley, Robbie Ashford, and Holden Grenier, or as Freeze called him, Grinder, right?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe he was thinking about Little Italy.
There you go. Get a little sub. Yeah, there you go. But no, seriously, that's what it is. One of those three. If you look at what's on campus today, because, you know, sure, will they try to go in the portal? Yeah, of course. Will it work? I don't know. We'll find out. But today, you know, somebody asked me, hey, is the quarterback on campus? I'm like, today he is, because one of those three have to start, and I guess we'll find out who that will be soon enough, assuming nothing changes in the portal.
How real is T.J. Finley in this conversation, or is it not?
I don't think they have much of a choice but for it to be real. He's showing up every day, and he's throwing the ball, and, you know, that's what you got. Your quarterback room, all right, so do you go with the redshirt freshman who, in his minimal playing experience, did not look very good? Now, to be fair, he was kind of thrown to the wolves there against that Missouri team.
Yeah.
And two quarterbacks injured, and including Zach Calzada not playing. Gee, golly. This was like 6-7 months ago, but it feels like yesterday sometimes. But, you know, this is what it is, right? And do you go with Robbie Ashford, who at times has shown unique speed as a runner, which can translate to some things as a quarterback, extending plays, making plays with his legs, but has not shown the throwing consistency? Or do you go with T.J. Finley, and we see what those results have been? Now, can players get better? Yes, but this is what you have.
Yeah.
So to answer your question in a roundabout way, yes, he is an option, because what else does Auburn have right now?
Yeah. Well, something else that at least makes me wince a little bit when you're trying to start off a program, whenever I hear freshmen playing, it kind of makes me kind of grip my teeth a little bit. Then when I hear one of those freshmen is an offensive lineman, it makes me wonder. And I know he was talking up Lou a good bit in that last press conference, but is the offensive line, how big of a question mark do you have around that particular group?
I don't think Lou is going to be starting. Because you look at, they have Dylan Wade and Avery Jones and Gunnar Britton, the three transfers, who, while they didn't play for Power 5 schools, they played at good programs. You should be able to plug them in as starters. That's 3 of your 5 positions, student center, right? All right, yep. That's man Wade there, who came over from Tulsa, which helps a lot, because Philip Montgomery, the offensive coordinator, from Tulsa. Okay? All right? So you got that. And you got Jeremiah Wright, who has shown himself. Tate Johnson, who's shown himself. So that'll probably be your starting five, I guess.
Yeah.
But when you start getting into that depth, I mean, yeah, it's young. You got to remember, Auburn only had 7 offensive linemen on campus when Hugh Freeze got here, okay? I mean, it's just what it is. And that's not all on Brian Harsin. That goes back to Gus Malzahn, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we said, you don't want freshmen playing offensive linemen, but when you have him in recruiting, and I think Malzahn's last couple classes didn't sign an offensive lineman, and that stuff trickles down to Harsin and now to Hugh, and we'll see how he fixes it. But yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things that makes your eyes perk a little. You know, your ears perk up a little bit when you hear a freshman is going to be getting playing time. But Hugh Freeze also said it.
He did.
It's as much indictment as to where Auburn is as to a compliment to Luke.
Well, you tell me if I heard this right or wrong, but in a previous press conference, when the name Justin Rogers came up, it's as if he was unwrapping a toy underneath his Christmas tree. He was almost giddy talking about Justin Rogers. Did I read that right or wrong?
No, you read that right. It is a thing. I mean, and look, now again, it's difficult to judge by what we get to see, but from what we hear, that guy is a bad man, okay, as a defensive lineman. And he seems to be garnering respect really quickly. They seem to think he's going to be a factor. And Jeremy Garrett is really high on him, and so is Jeffrey Ember, who's one of his teammates. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about this kid, and I tell you what, hey, he's one of those guys that if you see him around, you ain't gonna miss him, okay? At 340 pounds. Listen, you recognize, okay?
Fair enough. I did hear if there's been one consistency, it's the wide receiver room is not performing to the level he'd like to see. And I know this is his first spring, but I'm starting to believe once May 1st opens here in a couple of weeks that they are going to be looking hard for a wide receiver.
Well, yeah, and, you know, it's kind of interesting. ESPN reporter Heather Dinich tweeted, hey, Auburn fans, be patient with receivers, and she got roasted, and I kind of didn't understand why, because Hugh Freeze said the same thing the week before.
That's right.
And so if you're not mad at the football coach of the football team saying that the guys who catch the football need to tighten up a little bit, you can't get mad at Heather Dinich for also recognizing. Because keep in mind, Heather got him one-on-one. I'm pretty sure they had some candid on- and off-record conversations that probably leads to her making the assessment. And also, I mean, she got to watch some practice. We have too.
Yeah.
And the receivers be dropping a couple. I mean, it's just a reality. Now, that doesn't mean they can't get better. And, hey, if, you know, I know Camden Brown had something to say today about Dinich's comments. And, hey, if Heather Dinich at, I guess, 5'5" and 115 pounds can inspire these young men to catch the ball better, then, hey, let's go for it.
Let's maybe circle back to another question you had for, as we're talking with Tobias Wilborn right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Did you ever get the name of the movie that he sat down and watched with his wife for that? Was it an anniversary or a birthday?
I think it was her birthday, and geez, you know what's funny? He actually eventually later on did say, and I totally just did. It's not, but it's definitely like one of those Hallmark type movies.
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
it's definitely a Hallmark movie. But apparently, you know, listen. I mean, Hugh. Okay, you know, listen. Hugh is trying to play the game at Auburn, and I will. It's early. We will see. Obviously, there are people who are going to be concerned about some of the indiscretions, if you will, that he's had, both with his phone and on Twitter. So I'd much rather him be watching movies he doesn't know the name of than you know, some other activities he could be in. But hey, you know, listen, his daughter went to Auburn. I think that's a very important factor. I think this is somewhat of a dream type job for Hugh, even if this may not necessarily have been exactly as far as like coaching at an SEC school that has resources and potential that Auburn does. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he will mess his opportunity up. So he probably will be watching a lot more movies and I guess more Little Italy pizza than some other things he could be doing with his time.
Well, maybe the worst kept secret is maybe it was this time a year ago. I think we talked about this with you, Nabias, that we were of the opinion that the AD was going to be gone, the football coach was going to be gone, which was going to go first, and then here we are a year later, new AD, new football coach. Have things settled down finally down on the Plains?
Well, I mean, at least from what they're saying, yeah. And it's quiet, you know. There's always little things that kick up, but as of right now, it's been relatively everybody aligned. Also, we're curious to see how things go with the NIL, and that comes in on the victory group. But, yeah, no, I mean, listen, I said this last year around this time after all the stuff in February. This would have been around the time that spring ball was ending and getting ready for the Auburn Ambush tours where they go places and, you know, do the whole thing, right? And the thing I just remember saying to you was, hey, Auburn has two options when it came to the fallout with Harsin. Either A, you stand 10 toes down with this man and say, hey, this is our coach. We're going to ride or die with him, and this is what it is, okay?
Yeah.
Or you let him go. Somehow, Auburn found the third option. And we see where that got us, but here we are. And hey, who knows? Maybe under John, which I will say with Cohen, he seems to be a man who people respect. I think they value his coaching experience and they value his experience as an AD. I think that they are willing to give him a level of trust that Allen Green maybe did not get. And, you know, we could get into why that was. That's all in the conversation. It seems to be obviously that more people were on board with the hiring of Hugh Freeze. I have not heard a lot of big-time booster dissent from Hugh Freeze. Now, there was definitely fan dissent, but I think even some of those fans have come around since he took that recruiting class to, what was it? I guess, depending on what site, somewhere in between like mid-50s to like low 60s.
Yeah.
To the top 20 recruiting class.
Yeah.
I think some people have gotten on board. Now, will that be enough to keep people on board? I think we know that answer. But, you know, he's also, if you notice, he's setting some expectations, okay? He's talking about recruiting classes in 2024 and 2025. I don't think Brian Harsin got to talk about recruiting classes past the week ahead of him, okay?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
He is saying things about, hey, we don't have enough of this. Hey, we don't have enough of that. We don't have this. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, gently saying it, but saying it. I don't think Harsin ever had that freedom to say those kind of things, okay? So you get what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Is that he is setting and being allowed to set realistic expectations that Brian Harsin did not get to set. Now, we could get into the fairness of that, you know, all day, all night. We'll be on here for however long the show is and then some. But to get to brass tacks, he is setting very realistic expectations as to what Auburn can be this year, but also trying to look towards an eye towards the future to get into the type of players that Auburn needs to be able to say they want to compete with Alabama and Georgia, especially, you know, getting ready for Texas and Oklahoma coming into the conference, new scheduling. It's more likely going to be that two of the three teams that Auburn will play regularly will be Georgia and Alabama. Okay,
yeah.
That's just, I mean, they're not going to change the Iron Bowl because I mean you just can't do that to the state.
Yeah,
and let's also be real. You're not going to change the Deep South Soldiers rivalry. Okay, You're just not going to change those two games. And Auburn will never publicly back out of either one of those games.
But they'll move. They'll move one of those games.
I mean, I would assume you might go home and home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you split the homes, but they don't. But even that's tough to let's say you are a good Auburn team.
Yeah.
Maybe you want them. Maybe.
Well, yeah. What, the 2017 year? You had them both at home.
Exactly. And you got them both at home. Whereas, do you want them both on the road? I mean, it's tough. It's not easy. And also, you're making these decisions based upon what's going now. But as we know, college football can change at the snap of a finger.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, look at NIL coming in. Look at the portal coming in.
Yeah.
And we still don't know what the results of the portal in NIL would be in long term. So who knows? But as of today, I would not want to have to go to Tuscaloosa and Athens in the same.
Yeah. I am also, if it is a 6-3, Nabias, I am a big proponent of Auburn playing Florida. That used to be a big, big deal back in the day. And I know maybe the younger generation doesn't know that, but, man, that used to be such a pivotal SEC matchup. And I think it needs to be part of Auburn's 3.
I mean, listen, for fans, I would, for a strictly fan perspective, I totally agree with you. However, we're the ones who get fired if Auburn don't win enough football games. And so, if I'm...
He may not want to go to Little Italy after that particular game.
Yeah, I'm about to say he might not want to go to Little Italy. You go 0-3 against Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, which can be very, very easy to do, man. I mean, especially if Florida gets back to where we've known Florida to be.
Yeah.
Did Billy Napier do that? We don't know that yet. But I'm just saying, if my livelihood was invested on Auburn winning games, I'd want that third game to be Vanderbilt.
And that's what's being floated out there right now. And I totally get that, but programs do change, including Auburn. So we'll see what happens. More importantly, I want to close out the conversation with this. How the Braves going to do this year? I'm nervous about my Braves this year. What about you? What say you?
Well, I would have liked seeing Vaughn Grissom make the big club.
That'd been nice. Yeah,
that was nice, but I guess maybe he's got some work to do. They're going to miss Dansby Swanson, and I know you can replace the production. And look, they did a good job replacing Freddie Freeman's production, Max Chapman. But there's something to be said for guys who have been around the club for a while, who have seen all the ups and downs of a long season and are leaders. I mean, listen, you got a team with Ronald Acuna, Nazi Albies, and man, they got a lot of talent.
I'm expecting Ronald Acuna Jr. to be the MVP in the National League this year. That is my expectations that I have for Ronald.
Well, can he stay healthy enough to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, if he can, yes, he will. If he can't, who knows? But Ronald, golly, he's so fun to watch, man.
Yes, he is.
I mean, but hey, the Mets spent a lot of money. We'll see. I mean, I don't really trust the Mets until they do it. Look at last season; they talked all that trash, and what happened?
That was my favorite part of last year, by the way.
I mean, hey, that was pretty gorgeous to see the Mets fans eat it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I mean, but you got to admit they're a good ball club. Now losing that closer to the unfortunate injury is gonna be tough for them, but they're a good ball club. And I mean, the Phillies are gonna be, Phillying, and the Marlins. I mean, it's not an easy division, man. I mean, the Braves have won it, but it's not an easy division, and so we will see. I mean, it's just going to depend. Will they get enough pitching?
I'm glad they kept Iglesias. I really liked him.
Oh, absolutely. That was a good move.
Yeah. I just
that was a good move.
The bullpen was as steady as I've seen it in a while last year for the Atlanta Braves, but I'm like you. I was nervous when Freddie left, and I'm even more nervous now that Dansby's gone. But Alex Anthopoulos at least has his batting average is at least above 300. So
hey man, listen, I'll tell you this: Alex Anthopoulos as a GM, and one of the cool things when I covered baseball was getting to know him a bit. Very sharp guy, very savvy, knows what's happening. He does the best he can to work within the budget constraints that the Atlanta Braves, group puts on him, and he really does a good job with it. And so, hey man, if he says something to me, for the most part, I can't think of a big miss he's had or a big mistake. So until he does, if he does something, I gotta believe it. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. It'll be fun to watch. There's no doubt about that, but it'll also be fun to read your coverage as well, Nabias, and I appreciate the time so much here today.
Hey, man, anytime, brother. Keep Beach warm for me, baby.
Thank you, Nabias. That's Nabias Wellborn from AL.com. Let's go ahead and take our final time out. Final call for phone calls on the other side. Walking you up to Mavs and 76ers.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
With over 100 F-150s to choose from and available financing as low as 0%, now is the perfect time to put one in your driveway. It's Truck Month at Woody Anderson Ford. Hi, Bobby White back again, inviting you to come on in for the best selection of F-150s we've had in a while. And if you find one that you like, there is no payment for 90 days. Also, during Truck Month, not only do you get 0% financing for up to 36 months, but we've also got 2.9% financing for 5 years on remaining 22 models with your good credit through Ford Motor Credit. This offer ends April 4th. And don't forget, we make it really easy for you to trade in and trade up on a Ford Blue Advantage Gold Certified or Blue Certified pre-owned vehicle. Great warranties, 24-hour roadside assistance, and you take it home with a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Hurry on in for Truck Month. 0% financing, no payments for 90 days, and over 100 F-150s to choose from. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
For 50 years, our mission, do the right thing and make long-term decisions. We value our customers, and we invest in supporting you. We use our own technologies to automate, to provide you the best support possible. And we have the strongest guarantees in the industry. I just can't tell you I'm going to provide you great support. I have to prove it to you with my actions.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Since 1998, Scooter's Coffee has delivered high-quality drinks with quick service and a big smile. And the folks at Scooter's Coffee know a great cup of coffee or other drink can bring a smile to just about anyone. Yes, we specialize in great coffee, but Scooter's also has smoothies, teas, and delicious food items too. Scooter's Coffee, 700 Governors Drive, just east of the Parkway. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Find out more at scooterscoffee.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 50s and lower 60s. Maybe just a touch chilly through the overnight early into your Thursday morning. Grab a jacket before you head out the door for the Thursday morning commute. We're going to start the day in the upper 30s and lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine through Thursday afternoon, but it is going to be a little bit warmer. Highs climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Some of us could be looking at the lower 70s. Increased opportunities for rain and thunderstorms as we head into Friday afternoon and Friday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
always know when Guathny has taken over the playlist. This is not the Tom Abraham show, Chad.
I remember actually putting that file in the rotator.
Did you really?
It's got a date on here. That was a couple weeks after I first started when I was still in college. It was a summer
that feels
intern.
like a Tom Abraham song right there.
It absolutely was. It was for his show.
That's Jackson Love. My name is Steve Moulton, walking you up to the top of the hour. ESPN Radio will take over our airwaves. Are you excited for baseball season? Because it starts tomorrow. The latest odds from DraftKings have the Braves over-under mark at 94.5 wins. 94.5 wins. The Braves did struggle for a while. Remember the first 50 games last year? Braves went 23-27. Then went on for a 78-34 for the rest of the way to own the East yet again for the fifth consecutive year. Your Astros, let me look up your Astros, Jackson.
Defending world champion Astros, Steve.
They are still.
That's an important part.
Still beating the drum on that one, or is that the?
No, I mean you're welcome
is that
to look.
The trash can?
You're welcome to look for one, but I don't see or hear one.
95.5 wins.
Sounds about right, I think.
So apparently they believe that the Astros could so sign me up to make the playoffs. The Astros minus 750. I know would be plus 550. For the Braves, I had that number in front of me. To make the playoffs, it's a minus 475. A no is a plus 370. The World Series, a plus 900 for the Braves to win the NL pennant, a plus 425, and to win the East at a plus 140 there for the Atlanta Braves. For your Astros, the numbers look a little better, actually. World Series at a plus 600, the pennant at a plus 310, and the AL West, which still sounds weird to say that the Astros are in the AL West, at a minus 180.
That sounds about right to me, considering that, I guess the Astros have appeared in the last two World Series, so
yeah,
it makes sense that they're odds-on favorite, as well as the West. I think they've won 5 out of the last 6.
Yep.
And that 6 was the COVID season?
That is right. Other NLA East team odds, just to let you know, a starting point was, let's see here, the Nationals. Ooh,
they're going to be bad.
Their over-under is set at 60.5. 60.5 for the Nationals. The Marlins, their over-under is set at 76.5. How about the Mets? The Metropolitans, 94.5 for the Mets. That's interesting.
So we're doing Braves versus Mets all the way to the wire again? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what the boys out in Vegas are of the belief that we are going to see. And Max Fried is on the mound tomorrow for the Braves. So I'm genuinely excited, but then again, I mean, Major League Baseball isn't trying to encourage me to watch baseball because I'm all in on Braves baseball. I mean, I'm just all in. I wonder if maybe the tweeners out there, on people that just channel surf, well, I mean, we're getting less and less of that because you're getting these streaming channels, on whether or not you're going to go out of your way to watch baseball, period, this summer. I am curious, genuinely curious to see if the numbers go up as these length of games are going down, if faster will be better for baseball.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that increasing the ratings, at least not significantly. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong. I know it would increase ratings.
What is that?
Ending the blackouts.
Now, with all that has gone on with Bally's and the train wreck that is that organization, I thought there was some discussion on ending that with their bankruptcy file.
Yeah, I'm not up to date on it. I don't think, at least as of right now, it's not. And I say that because I got a good friend from college who's living in Memphis, and he's not able to get the Braves games even as a subscriber to MLB TV.
That's ridiculous.
It's blacked out in Memphis.
That is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, he also can't get any Cardinals games or any Reds games.
I mean, they've got a Cardinal affiliate
right. At least
there
the Cardinals
in
make
Memphis.
sense. It's right there.
Yeah.
But the Braves, really that far away? I mean, it makes some sense when you think that there's really no other major teams in the South outside of Florida, or at least the Deep South. Obviously, there's 2 in Texas.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, that's really far away. I don't think there are many Braves fans in Memphis as opposed to, like,
yeah.
I mean, there are some, obviously, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We shall see.
Yeah, we will.
So Braves fans expect, so Kyle Wright is starting off on the injured list. He's on the 15-day IL to start this season. Guys, to keep an eye on the bullpen, Tyler Matzik is back, baby. Tyler Matzik is back, baby. So is Dylan Lee. Yaskar Inoue is someone to keep an eye on as well. Nick Anderson, as well as A.J. Minter. We'll see what kind of A.J. we get here in 2023. Behind the plate, Sean Murphy, as well as Travis. And at first, of course, is Matt Olson. Second base is Ozzie Albies. And yes, indeed, at shortstop tomorrow will be Orlando Arcia. So we will have coverage of Braves baseball beginning at 10:50 tomorrow morning. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on The Drive. Good night, everybody.
Did you know that Valley Equipment Rental also specializes in day and weekend rentals to homeowners? The weekend rentals is by far the best deal that they offer. If you pick up after 2 on a Friday or anytime Saturday morning, it's not due in until Monday morning before 8 a.m. for a one-day charge. For a small fee, Valley can even haul anything they carry. Valley has extremely experienced and knowledgeable staff that can help you decide what size machine you need or what type of machine you need to get your job done like a pro. They have all the big items that the contractors need for their jobs, but they also carry the small tools that can help you with your DIY project. More importantly, Valley is locally